And 안녕하세요. 저는 건 리차드라고 합니다. 이번 겨울연가에 대해서 이야기를 하고 싶습니다. And as always, my Korean language, or my proficiency of Korean language, or my skill of speaking Korean language is really awful or really low. Anyway, but actually, so this time I try to speak out Korean language. Well, this time I try to speak out the greeting phrases of Korean language. Anyway, so as always, hello everybody. I'm Richard Gon of Back to Live podcast version, and as a fact that I have just spoken out Korean language. So this time the topic is related, or the track of this episode is related, or the story is related to Korean culture. Anyway, so I frequently digress in the course of recording, or in the course of creating episodes. So which is why, so in this time I'm thinking of pausing title and the title and not the track, but the conclusion of this episode. Anyway, so the title of this episode is Winter Sonata is the greatest work, I think, and there's a Korean part of in this title, and the Korean part reads 의대한 겨울연가. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce this word well. So the word is 의대한 겨울연가, 의대한 겨울연가, or 의대한 겨울연가, which is how to read the Korean part of this title. And so the translation of this Korean part is great winter love song, or great winter sonata, which is the translation of this Korean part. And the conclusion is great works, for example, television dramas, movies, artistic works, novels may subdue or inhibit segregation or other kinds of discrimination. So this present time is an era of diversity or so Mongolialization. I don't know whether Mongolialization is a suitable term for explaining the movement, or this worldwide movement of including many ethnic groups and tackle really tough purpose, or really tough works. Anyway, but actually, this time is an era of diversity, and so which might be because there are some countries in which there are some party or political parties of far right, or extremely right. Anyway, but actually, so this time extremely rights people are not related to this episode. I'm sorry for my bad proficiency, or I'm sorry for my low proficiency of handling English language, and I'm Richard Gon, and anyway, so my mother tongue is Japanese to start with, and so my mother tongue is I'm sorry for my bad skill of. I'm sorry for my low skill of speaking English. Anyway, but my mother tongue is really far away from English language. But actually, anyway, but so I'm trying to speak out English because this country has a declining population. So which is why, so so I forced myself to speak English for how should I say, for so the ultimate purpose, so the far-sighted purpose of this online activity is to create the false religion all over the world. And so I'm thinking of creating a false religion, or false worldwide religion. And I'm thinking of giving that false religion the name Back to Live. Anyway, so but actually this is a this is the story about, or this is the purpose of distant future. Anyway, so anyway, I'm going to let me come back to the track of this episode. So why Winter Sonata is the greatest work is, so my country is Japan, or I live in Japan, and so in this country, ethnic Korean people have been segregated. But actually, this television drama, or this series, or this is a Winter Sonata is the name of a TV drama series. Or Winter Sonata is the name of a series of TV dramas, and this changed the perspectives of, or this drama changed, or this series of TV dramas changed the general perspective toward Korean people. So maybe before the broadcast of this TV drama, ethnic Korean people have had wrong, not wrong, but actually, so bad impressions towards the local Japanese people. So which is why, so some Korean people have been segregated, or not have been. Some Korean people had been segregated. For example, in the scenes of job hunting. So in the scene, for example, in other cases, in the scenes of, for example, joining private universities, for example, or private junior high schools or high schools. Anyways, so maybe before the, at least before the broadcast of this series of TV dramas, ethnic Korean people had been segregated in many aspects, or in many things. But actually, this series of TV drama changed completely the future, or the general perspectives toward ethnic Korean people in this country. And this is so briefly explaining what this series of TV drama is. So briefly explaining, this is a not a love comedy, but this is related to romance scenes, or romance stories. This is a TV drama of romance scenes, or it's like so there's a man and there's a woman and they love each other, stuff like that. This is really just following the story of this series of TV dramas. It's really popular, and this is the story is love stories anyway. So which is why it's like, so the story is really I think it's the story itself is really tried or cliche for many people actually, which is what I think. And anyway, so there's a male protagonist and there's a female protagonist, and they fall in love with each other, and anyway, the story is such kind of thing. So I know part of the entire story. I don't know the entire story of that series, but anyway, so what is impressive to me, or what is impressive in this country is that this is a Korean series of TV dramas, but actually this changes the whole perspective of the local Japanese people toward or against ethnic Korean people. So which is why, so so of course there are some people of course there are some Japanese, there are some local Japanese people who do not like Korean people, or who segregate Korean people. But actually, so many people do not do such a thing, and some Japanese people worship Korean people. So which is, and what created such a movement of this present time is this series of TV dramas named Winter Sonata in English language. And so the original title of this TV drama is 겨울연가. I'm sorry for my bad pronunciation of Korean language. Anyway, so the meaning is winter love song. So, but actually, even in my country, this is translated to be Winter Sonata. At least, so Yonga is translated to be what Yonga is translated as as sonata, not love song even in my country. So which is why so it's fine. So it's fine to use these parts as it's so Winter Sonata or stuff like that. Anyway, so like this I have talked about the series of TV dramas for a long time in this episode. So what I'd like you to know in this time is that like this example of Winter Sonata. So so if you are thinking of preventing people from segregating some ethnic people or some religious people, for example Muslim people. So one of the best strategies is to create an artistic work. So which is why I wrote the writing in the conclusion, and the writing is so great works, for example television dramas, movies, artistic works, and novels may subdue or inhibit segregation or other kinds of discrimination. So which is why I'm sorry for my bad skill of, or I'm sorry for my low skill of speaking English. So which is why I'm introducing this work. I'm introducing you to this work, or I'm introducing this work to the listeners of my podcast. Anyway, so at last, before the actual ending of this episode, so maybe I should introduce some features of Korean people. Maybe one of the best features is BTS or Bangtan Sonyeondan, and the activities has been temporarily ceased. What there's a temporary cessation of the activities of the activities of BTS people. But anyway, so I'm recording this episode. I'm recording this episode on June in 2022. In which so the BTS people announced the cessation of their activities as celebrities. Anyway, but actually, so they are going to focus on the activity of each member. Anyway, the reason stuff like that. Anyway, so like which, and Korean people and another feature is that the Korean people are fairly good at, or Korean people speak English really well compared to the local Japanese people, at least. Anyway, so I don't know the result of the comparison between the speaking performance or the linguistic performances of English language between Chinese people and Korean people. But actually, those Chinese people and Korean people use English better than Japanese people do. So which is why, so this is I'm not trying to confuse Korean people, and I don't have any intention. I don't have any will to assault no confuse or cause trouble for Korean people. But actually, Korean people, as you can listen to, as you are listening to this episode or other episodes of my podcast, I'm really bad at speaking English. So which is why if there are ethnic Korean people, or if there are Korean people having come from or coming from South Republic of Korea, so I'd like to recommend you're talking to or you're trying to communicate with those Korean people if those Korean people are decent people, and most of them can speak better than I do. So which is why maybe I don't know. To start with, I can't speak English as natively, not as natively. I can't speak English natively, but actually, so most Korean people, or almost all the Korean people can outperform me in terms of the use of English language. So I'm really if you are worried about whether Korean people are really if you are worried about whether Korean people can really handle English language, so I can surely say that Korean people can speak better than I do. So with this introduction, I'm going to end this episode. So before actually ending this episode, I should introduce. I think I should tell you the title as a conclusion of this episode. The title is Winter Sonata is the greatest work, I think, and 겨울연가. I couldn't pronounce Korean language well, and the conclusion is great works. For example, television, dramas, movies, artistic works, novels may subdue or inhibit segregation or other kinds of discrimination. So thinking about the preventions of segregation or discrimination, so creating artistic works, or creating, for example, mass media works, or creating such movies or songs or TV dramas can become the best option for you or for changing the perspective, for changing the negative perspective of general public. And by the way, so at last, or at the last part of this episode, so I was talking about the general performances of Korean people in terms of the use of or the command of English language, but actually, please understand that explanation as I'm joking. So which is why, so of course, some Korean people some Korean people can speak English better than I do, but actually, so some Korean people do not study English language, so which is why, I think there are some Korean people who do not speak English as well as I do. So please understand so. And this time I realized that, I said when I'm recording or when I'm creating this episode, so I said that Korean people had a bad impression towards Japanese people, but actually the meaning is opposite, which means in the past Japanese people had a bad impression to Korean people, the local Japanese people had a bad impression about Korean people, and which means so in this case, it's Korean people in the past who gave some kind of bad impression to or towards the local Japanese people. So that's it. Thank you very much for your listening. See you.